Okay, shall we get started?
Go ahead. Yep, we're ready.
Okay, so welcome everyone to Leveraging AI for Training Content. Our goal is to help everyone become a training ninja, army of one, leveraging AI to create wonderful training content. Our presenter today will be Yavel Badash. So would you like to get started?
Sure. Thank you, Catherine. Appreciate it. What we were hoping to go over today with you is really kind of go over the high level power of generative AI, how it can transform content creation, especially in the training world, and kind of like, what do we think about AI in general? Should we fear it? Is it a threat for jobs? Is it a threat for, humans in general? And then show you what we at Slice Knowledge have done with AI and how, like Catherine was saying, we believe any one of you can harness the power of AI coupled with what Slice is offering, becoming an army of one. How can you become a training ninja? How can you do things that before would take 3-4 weeks, and today could take a couple of hours. So first, let's kind of talk a little bit about generative AI or AI in general and where it is right now. So we all know we've had AI, technology around us for 40, 50 years now. In the past 10 years, we've all called a call center where we had an automatic bot that answered or kind of pushed us to the right direction. We've had on websites automatic bots that helped expedite our interaction with a certain system. We had analytical AI that helped crunch data and create some knowledge from it, etc. But in the past year, we've seen this explosion or kind of the launch of ChatGPT and following that many other generative AIs. And we're looking at that as a game-changing experience, right? It's basically changing the way people are interacting with technology, changing the way we think about technology. And what it is, it really kind of large language models that were developed. So it's not just looking at data and analyzing it, but it's actually get the ability to create new original content that is kind of creative, right? So that's generative AI. It's like it's kind of affecting the creative process. It's not just taking the information and kind of adjusting it or kind of presenting it in a different way, but really we can see the AI creating ideas, stories, images, videos, all from scratch. And with the power of technology, kind of allowing the human to be limitless. We think that's like not just us, but the world is expecting this to be one of the biggest revolutions that we've experienced. And that's a big game changer. The statistics talks about in 2025, about half of the market will be adopting AI. We were in a conference the other week. Some estimates talk about that within the next 10 years, every piece of software, every technology around this planet will be transformed with AI. So think about, we have a decade, and again, maybe it'll be 8 years, maybe it'll be 12 years, but within the next decade or so, AI is going to basically rewrite everything that we know about technology, about systems, and it's kind of cross-generational. So like you have Gen X that are using it, you have millennials, you have Gen Z, everyone is jumping on this bandwagon, and it's really a game-changing experience for the world. And we as Slice Knowledge want to kind of focus on the power of that revolution as it relates to training and learning content within the enterprise. So we talked about generative AI and what it can do, but let's kind of delve into the elements, and I'm going to show some of them in the demo that is coming right after this. So first, the value in the idea, like the tyranny of the white page. What do I have a challenge? I need to create something. The generative AI is a great way to create something immediately, to kind of take an idea and create something from it without me thinking and having to be creative. AI can help me with that, with the idea, with the initial content generation, which I'm going to show you a bit later, with revision. So if I have certain content that exists and I want to improve it, I want to elaborate on it, I want to summarize it, it really changes it's a game changer for this creation process, right? And until now, the human was the creator, and then technology was an amplifier, but now the technology is becoming the creator, and the human is like more of an architect in a way, and kind of guiding the technology in the revision or personalization of the content. And we think that this is just the beginning, right? We're going to see a lot more of that happening. We see that in marketing today. There's a lot of AI providers that help you create marketing campaigns or drip campaigns or marketing copy. In the finance world, in other areas, it's going to basically be pervasive, and we think that it has an incredible potential to be a game changer in the corporate learning and development market too. So AI can basically touch pretty much everything from text to image. Like imagine no need for a designer. The images you see here are all created by AI. So if you want a Superman office in a cartoon type, if you want a woman kind of in front of her computer, a man, a teddy bear, etc., all of these things were created by AI, and it basically creates the most cost-effective and the most efficient way for you to be creative, right? Do what you got to do without, because typically before you needed a designer, you needed to go and look for stock photos or images and try to look for what fits what you need. Today, you basically can just speak it or kind of write it, and then it could be created. And that's really the theme that we're going to see today, that the human is actually the architect or the driver, and then utilizing the power of technology to make yourself 100 times better. Let's go to the next slide, which will give us to kind of end the slide part of this presentation. And then really everyone's thinking about this question, I think, in today's world. Like, should I fear AI? Would it be like the Terminator, and would it replace or kind of take jobs, or would it do negative things? So we at Slice Knowledge, we don't predict the future. We don't know what will be, but we think that these are some assumptions we can all have. Really, what you get from AI is as good as your questions or your requirements. So the more accurate your prompts are, the more accurate your questions are, the better results you're going to get from AI. We think that it will not necessarily replace jobs. It will actually replace tasks, so people can become a lot more efficient. Productivity can grow tremendously, and with one person, maybe you could do the job of 2 or 3 people, and then kind of affect productivity, then expect growth, of course. And the human in that context is really the engine that will be the judgment or the emotional intelligence part, because that's not something that AI has at this moment. It might be with super intelligence later on, they might have this element, but today, we see us as the drivers. We're, as humans, are the architects. We're kind of in the driver's seat, and AI is serving us. We do think that we need to be aware that humans using AI will replace humans that don't use AI. So if there's a millennial or a Gen Z that was born with AI and feels very comfortable, then having 10 or 20 years experience. So in our context, let's say if you're a 20-year veteran of the learning and development space, a new, like a 1 year or 2 year young 24-year-old that came out of college that is using AI could give that 20-year veteran a run for their money in terms of their ability to deliver and create value for the organization compared to what exists today. Experience is gold. So if you've had 20, 30 years experience in the training and learning development world, it's important. but when it comes to the power and the delivery, like if someone uses AI today and they don't have that experience, they still can deliver a lot more value to the organization. And hopefully, once I finish our demo, you'll understand a little bit more. And now we're going to move to our demo. All right, so let's take a look at Slice and our environment. I've logged in here through a browser. This is all, web-based, of course. And I'm going to do a couple of examples here to demonstrate some of the things that we've talked about before. So here I got the plus, add a new content, and here I have multiple ways that I can start. I can start with a blank page, which are a scrolling unit, one page unit, video playlist, slider unit, etc. I can start with completely using the AI to create everything, or I can convert an existing document that I have, like a Word, that I'd like to convert into a learning module. Today, because we're focusing on AI, I'm going to do a little bit more of the AI and how the AI is helping us, through the creative process of learning and development. So let's start with the full demo of kind of like I have a blank page. I got a question from my leadership, or a request or task from my leadership, and they say, listen, we would like to create a little training or an introduction of the importance of management feedback to an employee. And let's say that that's the context that I have. So let's go here, and this is the prompt kind of writer. So we're saying the importance of manager feedback to an employee. So this is my task. I don't really know much about it. I just got that task from my leadership. All I got to do, write the prompt that I need to create, choose a template, and do other things. But let's go ahead and slice it. This is fully AI generated. So let's see what happens. I'm clicking the slice it. What happens behind the scene here? Slice is going into multiple AI engines or language learning, large language models in the back, creates the outline. Once it gets the outline, it generates the paragraphs around it and writes the content. It goes and brings the images that are relevant, or at least that it thinks it is relevant for this, gets the right flow. And hopefully, if everything goes well, it's done, as you can see. And now we're going to open a fully ready training with, let me just change the template. Oops, sorry. I'll do just the regular template. Classic. All right, so without really having to write anything, this was created for me. So I have a ready to go, the importance of manager feedback to an employee. This is the kind of chapters that it created: introduction, benefits, improvement opportunities. If I go here, I can start the training, go to the first item or introduction, and everything you see here was created by AI. You can see that we have this little image of V that basically says this was created by the AI, and now as a human I need to approve it, because sometimes the AI would create things that don't necessarily make sense or a little weird. So I'm now ready. Like within less than 2 minutes, I got a request from my leadership. I can, within a matter of a couple of minutes, say, hey, is this what you're imagining? Is this what you're thinking about? So benefits of manager feedback, it has chose the right images, a video here, creating questions that are relevant to this chapter, etc. And you can see I need to approve this before sharing. So I can't publish this until a human is saying yes, this, I read it, it's right, and I'm approving it. So, and of course that everything that was created here could be edited. So let's say that I would like to take this piece here and say, this is good, but I'd like to elaborate on it. So I want to expand a little bit. So if I click expand and I've selected this text, the AI will take the text that was there and basically add another, and expand on it. If I want to summarize it, let's kind of take a look at what else is doable here with the AI. So here I can expand, I can rewrite it, I can simplify it, I can shorten, I can creative write, I can story tell it, I can outline, and I'm going to show a couple of these examples in a minute, right? I can create questions, etc. So this is really kind of like, I am one person. I don't really need a team of 5 or 6, a designer, a copywriter, a technical guy. Everything that I'm creating here is ready to go into the LMS. I can export it into a SCORM compliant zip that could be loaded into my LMS. And I am able to basically do it all in one place and not really have the burden of going to the different AI tools or different AI portals to create what I need. Okay, so let's kind of do a little bit more here on what I've created. So let's say that within that, I sent it to my leadership and they said, you know what, we would really like to create like a 2-session workshop around managerial feedback, right? Like to present or do an on-site kind of huddle with all of the employees. So I'm gonna do it here. So let's say I'm gonna do create a 2-session workshop about manager feedback to employees. 2 1-hour session. Let's do 1-hour sessions workshop. Okay, so let's say that they came back to me and said, hey, this is great. We love this as an introduction, but let's create something more detailed so the people will come and we can do something with them on 2 sessions that will be on in real life. So I take that text and I say, okay, well, why don't you outline something for me? So I pressed the outline, and the AI basically took what my prompt was, which was this, and create an outline. So this is the objective: understand the concept of feedback and how it promotes better outcome for employees, understand how to provide beneficial feedback both positively and constructively, show how use feedback, bridge the gap between this, etc. You guys can see it. So here it already created these things for me, like the 2 sessions. So it's one is introduction and the other is giving feedback. And now let's say that I want to elaborate on some of this, discuss the importance of open communication. So now I can say, okay, expand on that. So I want to write something around that and kind of have a little bit more beef around it. So I just click that. I have the text. If I want to create questions about this, so I go to the AI and say, create questions. So now Slice will go and create those questions, 3 easy, 3 medium, and 3 hard. So now I have that built into the text. Okay, and now I have, what is the benefits of open communication? What is the way to in what ways open communication is essential? Medium. What is the potential for benefits to open communication to the business world? And then hard. How does open communication build trust between individuals and or groups? Let's say that I like this question, and now I would like to make that question as part of my training, and I want it to be tracked. So I want it to have right to wrong answers, and I want that to be integrated into the LMS. So I go here and I say, convert to a question. Clicking on that will basically take that question and build the component of questions. So how does open communication build trust between individuals and or groups? And you could see I have 4 questions. I can 4 answers. I can add an answer. I can define what is the right answer, what is the wrong answer, and all of this is now SCORM compliant. So if I export this and load it into my SCORM environment, I could basically track the users and what they've done. So you can see as I go through, and this, I've been doing this demo for less than 10 minutes, from an empty and blank page of like, hey, we need to do something about importance of managerial feedback. I'm already with the workshop, with an outline, with questions about, and all of this was done with me pretty much not doing much, just like driving the AI with the prompt and pushing the flow in the direction that I wanted. I'm going to pause here for a second. Catherine, do we have any questions or comments from anyone?
Sure. So we've shown that it create a Q&A type of training assessment. What about gamification? Is that coming in one of the future builds, or in what ways could you gamify it now?
So I think we're aligned with all the best practices of learning management, and I'm going to click here and you could see all the things that I can add, right? So in the text area, I can basically add any of these ready to go elements. So text, I can go, if it's media, I can basically add, everything that is available here. Let's say if I want a hotspot, or I want a HTML video, or embedded video, etc. All the elements, questions, etc. We don't have automatic gamification abilities yet. It's definitely something that we're looking at. It's something that I think as we progress, we'll have components that will take, let's say, an area like the feedback, and create like a little game, or interactions around it. We don't have that yet, but we think that it's part of the future. Not always gamification is the right approach, right? So not always. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not, and it really is driven by the human, right? So if you think that you want to deliver this content with that approach, then you can do that. But here you have basically the ability to create any type of training material with all the components. This is like a dialogue type component. So if I want to have a dialogue or a conversation between 2 people, I can basically create that and have this guy saying something. Again, this is not gamification, but basically I can create a very engaging content that has multiple components. Pretty much anything you can imagine that you'll need is available for you. At what you see is what you get. The WYSIWYG, very easy, no need to know technical, you don't need to have technical skills, including, by the way, the integration of the images. So if I go to an image here, and I'm adding an image, I can go, and within the image area, I'm actually integrated to a variety of different databases of free images, but I also can create my own images with DALL-E or Slice AI, which is has a bunch of preset kind of like structures that now I can basically just write my prompt and have that created for me. So if I want to do a manager giving feedback to employee with I don't know, I'm trying to think something creative here. Manager giving feedback to employee dressed as a clown. I don't know, something like that. So basically I'm able to create whatever I need, and that's not really gamification, but it's personalization. So if I want to create something in the text, it's like lighthearted, and I want to create something that is lighthearted from the image standpoint, I'm able to do that. Basically everything that I can imagine doing, I'm able to do here pretty quickly. Was there any other questions, Catherine?
Yes, when you get to the part showing the export, could you show the PDF?
Absolutely. So this is going to take a minute to create. So maybe I'll hold on for a moment. Okay. Well, I don't want to delay us, but you can imagine that my prompt will basically create a multiple choice of image here, and I can go with that image and continue with it. Let's see. All right, it's a little bit slow. Let me go back here. So let's say that I'm done that with my training, and this is the module, and now I want to export it. So I can create an HTML, like a mini website or a SCORM package, or a PDF. So if I click here, basically it'll take my learning module and create that into a PDF, and I am ready to go. I can basically send it to anyone and they can flow. PDF, of course, is not an interactive component, so people would not be able to use it as they do in the LMS, but this is the PDF that was created, and you could see it has pretty much everything that I've created here. Other questions?
Let's see. That's all the questions we have so far.
All right. So I'm going to ask Shachar here if he wants to jump in and elaborate. But as you can see, the work that the learning. Sorry, Shachar. Okay, so I'm saying what you could see here is that the message of becoming an army of one is very true. I'm not a really professional. I was able to create quite a lot of content here, quite a lot of value within a matter of 10-15 minutes. I'm trying to think what else I'll be able to show you, and I wanted to maybe show a couple of other elements here from the slice creator. If I click again, I'm going here, and I could start from the AI, or I could start with a blank page. Or a scrolling unit is basically the basic unit. Everything could be edited. Unit 1, everything that I'd like to do could be oops. It's what you see is what you get. So I can change every image. So instead of what it says, let's set off, let's go. I can go to the list of chapters, add a new chapter, give that chapter its name. Etc. And here too, I can add a paragraph, and like we did before, all of this could be AI enabled. So if I want to do something different here, let's do so let's say that I want to create like some. Okay, I'm gonna do generate this. So let's say I want to like do an interview for a new employee, team discussions, work culture, Q&A, closing. So the AI could be either starting from scratch as a blank page like I did before, or it could be, helping me step by step here as I'm doing that. I wanted to, let's do this one and just kind of expand on this one. And I want to show some really cool features around it. So let's say that I created the text for introducing the employee to the team, but let's say that, and maybe this example might not be the best, but let's see what it does. So let's say that I want to explain that and show it as a use case. So I'm going to go into, okay, wait a minute. I'm going to do this as a use case. So now it will rewrite that text and create that as a use case. So you can see I have a lot of capabilities here that are making me a lot more accurate and a lot more effective in my creation process. Before we kind of summarize, I wanted to show one other thing from our staging environment. This is not released yet, but we do have very powerful capabilities here with the slice bots. The slice bots are a way for you to create either your own bot or an expert bot. I actually create my expert bot around a book I wrote. I loaded the book. I trained the bot to do, to know everything around what I wanted to know, and it blew my mind how powerful that was for me to interact with the artificial intelligence that now is more capable, than anyone around the context that I gave it. So here you could see the slice bot. You are able to create your own bot. So if I want to create the new bot, I come here and I basically can give it, a name, description, multiple prompts, which model I would like to connect with, whether it's OpenAI, Claude, or Google or whatever. What is the chat direction, whether it's in what language, etc. And once this is created, this could be plugged into my enterprise, and I could create this kind of mini bots or bots that will serve a certain purpose in my corporation, which we believe to be, a game changer. Imagine you can take your knowledge, put it in a bot, and now create the my bot thing and have people interact with it. Or if you want to have that managerial feedback bot, so you can have a bot that helps a manager give feedback. So it will be the expert. Every manager will go and basically interact and say, hey, I'm going to give feedback to employee 1, 2, 3. This is what I want to say. These are the pros, these are the cons. And the bot will help and guide that manager through that process with extreme accuracy and a lot of value, because that's what that bot is going to be around, about employee, managerial feedback for employees. So we think that's going to be very useful for many enterprises. This is not released. It's going to be released in the next few weeks. And we have a bunch of other really exciting things that come with it. We have, AI tools and learning tools and a few other things that we think are going to make the life of learning and development, or in general, the corporate environment, a lot more efficient. Shachar, I don't know if you wanted to chime in, or if anyone else has any questions. We're getting towards the end of our session here. So now is the time.
Sure. So there was one more question about, could you show a little more of the PDF, particularly how it shows the questions?
Sure.
Shahar, do you have some?
No, I think any of that is covered, all the things.
All right, so we'll take this to, oh, sorry, I'm in the, sorry. Let's say that I'm creating the PDF here. Oh, sorry, you wanted to see questions, right? So let's, they wanted to see questions that are more of the SCORM, or just questions. So this will be looking as just as a text, right? So if I make this into a SCORM question, and I'm going to do that. So
Now, if they're text questions, you could just add extra space after for people to
Right.
write in on the PDF, right?
Correct, yes. And let's do this one so you could see how it looks in the PDF. So I'm just going to show that. So as you can see, Unit 1, and then it takes a second. But this is the PDF, Chapter 1, Introduction. And, oh, sorry. So it presents all the data in PDF. It doesn't have the interactive abilities that the HTML does. So if I do that in HTML, you'll see that I have this export wizard that, I can basically, do I allow printing? Do I, allow to view chapter numbers, et cetera, do I allow close button, etc. And if I export, it'll basically create an HTML component, and I can now take this, load it into my LMS, and this is, yeah, so this is the HTML that was created. Any other questions?
I don't see any additional questions.
Okay, so I think what we wanted to kind of go back to, I guess the deck and the agenda. So we're hoping to give you a little bit of background of AI and the power of AI, and then the power of slice knowledge, and how can you become like a ninja army of one. I think that we've showed some of it. I hope you guys are impressed and excited with the power that AI can bring and the value it can bring to your corporation. We encourage you to get in touch with us. We're happy to give you access to Slice.io, which is our kind of in test it or not test, like play environments you can create, or if you'd like to sign up with us as a customer, get the full power of the Slice platform. Help us become or lead the revolution. I see that there's other questions. I'm happy if there are, Catherine.
Sure. We got a comment. This is fascinating.
Okay.
Thanks so much. And requested access on Slice. So so you want to,
we will follow up. Yeah, let's send everyone that was on the session today a link to sign up, give them access for a certain amount of time, or to the Slice.io, and then we can have a more dedicated sessions with you. We would love to explain how you use it. To onboard anyone on Slice takes about an hour and a half training, and you're ready to go. So it really is not a big investment or a big time consuming task. Today we didn't talk much about the company. The development's been for about a little over 2 years. The company's been around for almost a year now as an official kind of entity. We have a little over 20 customers, some banks, some government agencies. We're rather than going, big in terms of number of customers, we wanted to go deep. So a lot of what you see is a result of, enterprise customers that are using this platform day to day, and it's part of their strategy or content creation, strategy. They're all kind of using our or are onboarded into the AI environment as we speak. So we're thinking it's very exciting times. There's a lot of innovation coming, and we're excited to share it. Slice will not look the same in 3 to 6 months. It'll be, it'll quantum leap forward, and we believe that will be the case, moving forward. We're keep innovating with the users or customers' requirements. We think we can create something that will be a game changer, or it is already a game changer in the learning and development space. I'm happy to answer any other questions or comments.
Is it possible to design sprints or workshops on Slice?
We actually are using Slice internally for a lot of different communication purposes. So sometimes within, our product team, our product leader could create like a slice presentation of our go-to-market strategy or our feature plan. It's a great way to present data or information or knowledge. And because the output is HTML, it doesn't have to be loaded into a SCORM compliant LMS. It can be standing on its own, or like we showed, it can be a PDF. So if you want to wow your colleagues, you can use a slice to create content and then either put it in HTML format, PDF format, and that could be for development purposes, for sprints and other kind of use cases. It's not specifically designed for it, so we might it might not be exactly fitting to that, but you definitely could use it. And if we see that that's the direction that many of our customers will take, we'll definitely want to add that into our roadmap.
And we're also using it to create SEO-rich marketing content and resources for the website. They'll be going live pretty soon.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you, everyone. I'm sure you might have other questions. Feel free to contact me or Catherine. As a follow-up, you have our contact information. We're happy to help you get more comfortable with Slice and understand how we can help you be the ninja or the army of one in your organization and help us kind of expand our success all over the world. So thank you, everyone. We look forward to seeing you in another webinar and see you soon.